What up, everybody? Welcome to Dictate the Day. And you know how I like to do it. Just give me 40 some odd seconds. I gotta get the vibe right. Okay, my bad. 48 seconds. I know. I probably lost half of my would-be viewers. It's just something I like to do. All right, it's Monday. So happy to have you here with me. Man, I forget how important these are, especially just to me. And I know it's just fun, entertainment, this, that, the other strange stuff I find, and then I show you and we talk about it. I love doing that. But I've been away for a while. I put an update on my last video. It's like 5 minutes long. And if you know, you know. That's, we'll leave it at that. And when that thing comes to a head, I'll probably release a video. But we're going to move right on. Like I said, it is Monday. It is the 6th of October. We're going to run through about a dozen clips here of crazy, eye-opening, reality-shaking, purely entertainment videos. And then I'm working on a 3-eye atlas kind of focused, and that's probably going to come, I might do that Wednesday, because it's getting closer and it's getting weirder, and I don't know what to believe. But we'll get into that. With that being said, let me pull up this first clip. I swear, this thing... How have I never seen this? Hold on. I forgot to set this up pre-game. My bad. There it is. Yeah. 108-foot, 33-meter waves that should not exist. And I mean, what's crazy about this? This is an old school clip. You can tell by the camera and the saturation and whatnot. I'll just shut up. Watch this.
This day, 1995, a storm was brewing in the North Sea. The Draupner oil rig was 100 miles out in the harshest of weather. The sensors were regularly reading waves of 12 meters. When suddenly, out of the blue, came a wave that was so high and so steep, scientists had thought it was impossible.
Where did that come from?
For me, it changed everything. Really changed everything. This wave is at 26 meters. It's so much bigger than the background sea state.
When the New Year's Day wave came along, which fits this picture, a 30-meter crest-to-trough height in a 12-meter sea state, alarm bells started going off because of the very low probability of this wave, yet we saw it.
The sensors measured a wave so steep and so high, they should only occur once in every 10,000 years.
Bruh.
Suddenly, it seemed that the mariners might be right, after all.
1980. Look at that, man. Oh my God. Okay, the ocean is scary enough. You know what I mean? It's just...
On New Year's Day...
Happy New Year. And now, well, the information has been released that, entities are coming from the ocean. It's completely undiscovered pretty much. It's like less than 10%. You got things like that happening. I love a good trip to the beach, but, man, yeah, I'm good. No, thank you. Did you see this? Watch this. This is an 8-second clip. And, okay, here's a couple things. I need YouTube to hear this. There has been a couple songs that are on these clips that I am using the Fair Use Act to react to them. So keep that in mind, algorithm grading my videos. Entertainment, fair use, and I am reacting to, yes, the video clip and the music. All right. Yeah, this thing right here reminds me of that scene in Day After Tomorrow where just like all of a sudden huge chunks or whatever. I know this is not as intense as that, but this is pretty intense. Look. Boom, just like that. What it says on this is from Nano Bananas Sai. A family gets trapped in their car. Golf ball sized hail suddenly begins pounding their vehicle in a shopping center. I mean, here's the problem with that. There's a new AI out, Sora or something. This could be AI. Okay, so just throwing that out there. You know, entertainment, just for fun. I don't even know these days. What? It's really wrecking my game over here reacting to stuff because, yeah. I'm real, though. I'm real. Check it. Check it. Check it. Okay, sorry. I'm feeling super different today. It's just one of those days, man. I woke up on the other side of the... Let's go.
The average girl in America is hitting puberty, which is sexual maturity, 6 years earlier than they were in 1900. We have the earliest puberty rates of any continent in the world. It's age 10 and 10 to 13. And this is in large part thought to do because of we are literally giving children estrogen with all the plastics we're ingesting, which are xenoestrogens, meaning they are exogenous artificial estrogens, and the pesticides, which can activate the estrogen receptors like atrazine. I mean, you can put atrazine, which is a pesticide that we spray about 70 million pounds of in the US every year. It's not legal in Europe. And you put this on a developing male frog embryo and it turns into a female frog. That's how much of an an endocrine disrupting chemical that it is. Average girl in a...
Okay, one of the reasons, like this is horrible, but this doctor, lady, scientist, I don't know what she is. This is from the TikTok channel, The Parent Tribes. I have sons that are older now. You know, I've got a bonus kid, stepchild, and it's not just affecting the kids, okay? We too are ingesting and being like the adults, all ages. If you live on the planet, especially here in this wonderful conglomerate of unitedness, this estrogen problem is affecting all of us. This is it's crazy. I have a clip, a video, an upload on my channel from way back in the day, and it's my TRT journey, and I think it's titled How It Changed Everything. Yeah. I'll let you divulge yourself in that, and we'll just keep rolling. Poisons everywhere. You know, and I got a clip in here about food too, and I think it's the next one. Every time I do this, my videos get buried. What's going on? Entertainment, all right?
This is the first time we're going to send humans to the moon, and we're going to have humans in low Earth orbit.
Wait, what? He just said first time on the moon and low Earth orbit. Like he doubled down. He didn't misspeak. He said it twice. This is 31 seconds. I'm going to let it go a couple times.
That is awesome. Like we should, as humanity, we should take a brief moment to go, that's awesome. One of the things that we most asked for and look forward to is we are going to do a crew conference between Integrity and the International Space Station, the crew that's up there. And I will tell you, our friends that are on Crew 11 and our friends that are getting ready to launch on Crew 12 are arm wrestling between the station and home to see who gets to be in space when they talk. Like they're as fired up as we are, and I did not expect that. This is the first time we're going to send humans to the moon, and we're going to have humans in low Earth orbit. That is awesome. Like
he's so fired up, he forgot he wasn't supposed to say that. I mean, what do you mean? We have clips of us being on the moon. That's crazy. That's crazy. You know, thank goodness for the whole social media thing and the fact that we can capture stuff and put it out there. Because you don't see this clip on like the major news kind of stuff, because maybe they would report on it as, oh, one of the astronauts, you know, or potential astronauts made a Freudian slip and said it's the first time. Nope, nothing like that. You'll only find this on channels like myself, and if you follow the different, as I like to call it. People who are looking for real information, entertainment only. Here we go.
There's a story about the soldiers coming in.
Okay. I like this dude. He's super interesting. He's a security guy who's been security for like a bunch of famous people. But he operates, you know, with that higher kind of existence, if you will. He's got a huge plethora of knowledge that is some of my favorite. You know, the awakening kind of, you know, look through the veil kind of knowledge. It's Big Homie CC is what he goes by. And if you follow anything that I do, you've probably seen clips of him before on my channel and channels like it. But they're talking about the Giant of Kandahar. And you can go, I could do a whole symposium, I don't know if that's the right word, but I do like that word, on just the Giant of Kandahar. And it's this story of like when we were in Afghanistan. I don't know if this was back in Desert Storm or one of those times, but these soldiers come into contact with this, I don't know, I think they said 18 foot, something like that, red-haired giant, like some of the Nephilim from the Bible stories. Yeah, check this out.
In contact with something that you probably described in Afghanistan. Did you ever hear about that?
The giant of Kandahar.
Yeah, and it killed some of the soldiers, and there's soldiers that live to tell about it, but they won't talk about it. What do you think about that? You think that's real?
I think it's real for sure.
Right.
That's the thing, bro. When you meet them guys who in the upper echelon of military, I'm getting a chill talking about this. Because if they catch you making something up, bro, it's bad for you.
Yeah.
You will be on a desk. You know, you will lose your pension. Like if you making stuff up, they don't like that. They call it stolen valor. They take that stolen valor very serious. And for me, you know, bro, when you've been out in the field with dudes that's trained weapons, and you know that you got to be switched on for them to even respect you or acknowledge you or speak to you, you treat them a lot different. So when I see people on the internet calling real tier 1 operators liars, and that's crazy to me, because, bro, you take 60 of them and drop them anywhere in any war, any battle, it's gonna change the course of that war, bro. That's how bad these dudes are. Like this is the top level. So, you know, a lot of strange things took place in Afghanistan, bro.
There's
I'm just gonna reiterate. You don't, like you're saying, those tier 1 operators, they're not real big on lying, or actually telling some of these stories. I've known several over the course of my life, through different reasons, through like, you know, I used to run nightclubs, so I would hire security guys. Some of them were ex-military, and some, there was one in particular that ran a security business. And man, he had some stories. Some of it I can't even talk about. That's what's so crazy. But there is a certain level of trust, and when they drop some of this knowledge on you, it's kind of like they don't give it to you all, but they give it to you in pieces, and you kind of have to do the math. Not all the time, but yeah, I don't see a lot of those dudes lying about stuff. And then when they suffer some real trauma from the situation, because I've heard some of the stories from this, because like this giant had a spear, allegedly, entertainment, and it's a good one. If you want to, you can go, and there's whole YouTube channels devoted to this story being told. And it's so interesting, so strange. Get in there. Okay, let's keep rolling. Sorry.
Talk about this earthquake that could destroy all of California. We're calling it the big one. But they're saying the cascading subjection zone, and they said it's about to go off.
Really?
But they're saying that when it goes off, it will be a 9.0 or higher.
Oh my gosh.
It's 4 minutes of continuous shaking.
Dude, that's just destroying a whole city.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. In 1994, the LA earthquake that happened, that was a 6.7 magnitude, but it caused over $50 billion in damage. It destroyed LA.
Dude, a 9.0 that's thousands of deaths.
Animals would be able to pick up on it 90 seconds before it happened.
Cool.
So they're saying all along the West Coast, and we're talking about massive tsunamis because it's in the ocean. People along the West Coast, they would have about 10 to 30 minutes to reach higher elevation before this giant wall of water just came.
That's so terrifying.
So everyone on the West Coast,
we're so sorry.
They're saying the one plate, instead of it like getting bound up, it's literally folding over on itself. It'll just be like a big pow.
Oh my gosh.
So it's literally just like building all this tension.
That's called potential energy, and then when it moves, it's kinetic.
Talk about this earthquake that could destroy all of California.
Yeah, I remember that 1990 whatever earthquake. I was talking to my wife about this not too long ago, and I'm about a decade older than her. She doesn't remember, which makes sense because she would have been, I don't know, 12 or 13 or something. Not even. She was born in 88. But man, it's so hard to like fire up that conversation with someone, unless they're in my age demographic. And even then they're like, oh yeah, I kind of remember something. That thing was on every news channel. It was so nuts to see that the highways had collapsed on themselves. Man, we have a big, huge, crazy spider web of highways here. Not a lot of earthquakes where I live, but that stuff scares me. Anytime I'm on those things and there's like a traffic jam and you're sitting underneath that giant slab of concrete and rebar, yeah, no thank you. And here's another example of living on the beach. I think we should all just be visiting. I think that's, and it's beautiful. I know. And there's a whole beach culture and dangerous, especially in the world we live in. That's all I'm saying. All right, let's keep going.
The poison. How much of our diet do you think is poison?
93% of the items in the American grocery store are poison because sugar is hidden in all the foods. For instance, there's 262 names for sugar, and the food industry uses all of them because they knew when they add it, you buy more. But the problem is, and it's providing people with a dopamine hit, and that dopamine is addictive. And that's when you actually have a biochemical and medical problem. And we have data to show that ultra-processed food has been associated with dementia, diabetes, cancer, every single mental health disease. So the question is, how can you buy healthy food and not be tempted by the bad stuff? So first, if a food has a label, it's a warning label. The second thing, if any food has a sugar in the first 3 ingredients, it's dessert. And then when they go to the store, don't go hungry. But if you think exercise is going to make you lose weight, you are deluded. Really, your control is you really don't have control. And the more you try to exert it, the more you realize you're not in control. What that does is that generates an enormous amount of stress and an enormous amount of pain. Now, that pain can turn inward, and we call that depression. And right now, 29% of Americans are depressed, and 4.4% of the entire world is depressed. These numbers were infinitesimal a generation ago, and they are basically, pushing up further and further. And the reason is because of this inappropriate illusion of control. And it's causing an enormous amount of pain. How do you mollify that pain? How do you basically deal with the psychological pain of lack of control that you yourself put upon yourself. Cocaine, amphetamine, nicotine, alcohol, sugar, gambling, social media, internet gaming, pornography. Pick your poison. A paper just came out like 3 days ago in Annals of Neurology, basically showing that non-nutritive sweetener consumption, so diet sweetener consumption, correlates with dementia. And we think we know why. Anything that generates ROSs contributes to dementia. Well, this is problematic, to say the least. And by the way, anything that generates ROSs has been associated with Alzheimer's. So we know that the cause is environmental. Now, people say, oh, Alzheimer's is genetic. Garbage. By the way, that genetic component is only 5% of all Alzheimer's. So that means 95% of Alzheimer's risk is environmental.
Wow.
Poison. How much of our diet do you think is poison?
Okay. Excuse me. This will be the clip that gets my whole thing buried. Share this. Like this. Dislike it. Subscribe. That would be dope. Because I got a feeling this one's only gonna... I'm gonna manifest better. This is gonna be my highest viewed video yet. Let's go. But I'm gonna talk about this. I consider myself somebody who is on a journey of health and fitness, all that kind of good stuff. I try to do things on the regular that better my body, better my mind, which in turn, betters the connection with my friends and family and just, all that kind of stuff. The spiritual, the physical, the mental. And that is so true. If there is a label on an item these days in our stores, it's just a warning label. And one thing you can do, like he was mentioning, is if sugar, any form of sugar derivative, and they hide them with crazy words so you can do a little research, especially while you're in the store with your phone. If it's got that much sugar, because sugar's in everything, like you can even check your seasonings, like your garlic salt and garlic pepper and stuff. There's sugar in that because they know it's addictive. And let me tell you what, I'm an addictive personality dude. So I have to be super disciplined about certain things. So what I'll allow myself to do, and I still have to do less and less of it as time goes on as I get older. Everything in moderation, even moderation, is kind of a thing. I allow myself like a crazy day where I eat a little crazy. Like I avoid fast food at all costs, but I'll have something processed. I'll have a sweet. I kind of give myself a window. It's kind of like I'll treat it like my fasting mentality and give it to myself occasionally. But yeah, that's still bad. I shouldn't even be doing that. But I do love sugar. Good God Almighty. I wasn't allowed sugar as a child, so it's become this thing in my adulthood that I've reined it in the last 10 to 15 years, but man, it used to be out of control. Okay, enough about me. My bad. Let's roll.
3% of
the state of Colorado has to pass legislation to make sure they can protect your brainwave rights. Your brainwave privacy is at risk. The U.S. just took its first big step towards protecting it. Colorado passed legislation to prevent companies from selling your brainwaves. Companies like Meta and Snapchat exploring neurotechnology and Apple patenting a future version of AirPods that will scan your brain activity through your ears.
These AirPods can now measure your brain signals. Apple secretly developed this new patent that uses electrodes to read brain activity. They could soon learn how you listen to music and even help you focus.
So let me pull up the patent for you guys so you guys can see it. This is the patent.
It's real.
As you can see right here, the assignee is Apple. Biosignal sensing device used for dynamic selection of electrodes. But on section 14, the wearable electronic device of claim 10, wherein the biosignal is an electric activity of a brain of a user. And so what is this claim 10? So you go to claim 10 here, it says figure 2 depicts an example of wearable electronic devices such as an earbud and describes here in the accordance of its embodiment. So let's go to figure 2. These little electrodes here, those are brainwave signal electrodes. So they will be reading your brainwaves. The state of Colorado has to pass legislation.
I think that legislation should be everywhere. Shout out to the Mile High Colorado. What's going on? What are we doing? We know what's happening. Entertainment. Let's go.
For anyone who isn't familiar with DARPA, right? It's the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency.
I would not be surprised if said DARP had something to do with the last video. You know, they've been credited for the ones that started the internet, and yeah, entertainment. Watch this.
Mouthful. It is the most powerful, most secretive, most productive military agency in the world. The SecDef, at the time that the DARPA was created, Neil McElroy, he went to Congress to get the funding, and he said, this agency is going to create the vast weapon systems of the future. That is what DARPA does. They are always 20 years ahead of anything that you or I know. So any technology that is like, what the hell was that I just saw and you're not supposed to have seen, that's DARPA.
They were doing Neuralink in the 90s, right?
They are always doing things 20 years before you know about them, because they do what is called blue sky technology.
Blue sky
right?
research and technology, yes.
And they have to be ahead of the curve. They have to be, right? People forget there are at least 17 intelligence agencies.
Yeah.
It's not just CIA.
17?
17.
Yeah.
I mean, Google them, look them up, right?
Yep.
That's why there's now a director of national intelligence.
I did.
So to stay ahead of the enemy, air quotes or not air quotes, to stay ahead, the federal government is always playing not just chess, but move the magic balls, right? And what's under what hat. And so things need to be hidden so that secrets can be kept. For anyone who isn't familiar with DARPA, right? It's the defense.
Yeah. Hold on a second. I'll be right back. My bad, everybody, my bad. I'm back. I heard the garage opening. I thought it was mine, and I was gonna try to run some interference so y'all didn't get to see behind the curtain. My wife just doesn't want to be on camera, so All right. I have to be careful because what I want to say about this, what I want to say. All right, the next one's got some sprinkle of DARPA in it too. Let's put some DARPA on it. It's everywhere. And that whole 20-year thing about technology, that goes for every piece of technology that we have, from the internet to, yes, the Neuralink, to think about what they have right now. Like, imagine something crazy, something you may have heard of in passing or while you're on my channel, just whatever, right? Oh, they got it. They got it. Backwards engineered, reverse engineered technology from the interdimensionals, whatever. Entertainment. How many times I feel like I have to say that every time, right? I know they're listening. They're listening. Let's go.
It's a project first dreamed up by the military to get information from the battlefield.
They call it smart dust, and the new technology may soon make it possible to keep track of anything, anywhere, including you.
I'm sorry, that's cut off on the edges.
Smart dust originated with DARPA back in the 90s. This powder-sized chip is something called the Mu chip from Hitachi. It's the smallest commercially available RFID system in the world.
Look at how
you can
small
literally scatter this stuff like dust or embed it into a sheet of paper. It doesn't require a battery. Flecks of computing power settling on your skin, ingested, monitoring you inside and out.
The nanoparticles are designed to go under the radar of the immune system, and so they are undetected in the body.
We have computing everywhere, we have connectivity everywhere, we have infrastructure
Oh,
that
my
can
bad.
compute those with new capabilities like AI.
If you have enough data and you have enough computing power, you can understand people better than they understand themselves, and then you can manipulate them in ways which were previously impossible.
Transhumanism is a growing movement that aims to use technology to modify our bodies, sometimes in radical ways to make them stronger, faster, and better.
Better. No. Okay. This is hypothetical. This is for fun. This is for entertainment. Let's say that smart dust has been around for, and that was kind of an old clip. I think that clip, this is a clip from 2023. And the actual clip from the news there looked like it could have been in, the 90s. I don't know. But there's been decades that this has been around. How much of it is in us, on us? You know what I mean? It could be affecting our perception of what the outside world is, because the smart dust has just caked on everything. I don't know. I'm just thinking outside the box. It's for pretend. I'm kidding. Okay, let's go.
We discovered soon after I entered office that with the specter of an atomic war looming like Armageddon, far nearer than it does today, the United States government actually did carry out on our citizens experiments involving radiation. Thousands of government-sponsored experiments did take place at hospitals, universities, and military bases around our nation. In one scientist injected plutonium into 18 patients without their knowledge.
What?
Informed consent means your doctor tells you the risk of the treatment you are about to undergo. In too many cases, informed consent was withheld. Americans were kept in the dark about the effects of what was being done to them. The deception extended beyond the test subjects themselves to encompass their families and the American people as a whole. For these experiments were kept secret, and they were shrouded not for a compelling reason of national security, but for the simple fear of embarrassment, and that was wrong. Informed consent, community right to know, our entire battery of essential human protections, all these grew up in response to the health and humanitarian crises of this 20th century. They are proof that we are equal to our challenges. Science is not ever simply objective. It emerges from the crucible of historical circumstances and personal experience. Let us remember, too, that cynicism about government has roots in historical circumstances. Because of stonewallings and evasions in the past, times when a family member or a neighbor suffered an injustice and had nowhere to turn and couldn't even get the facts, some Americans lost faith in the promise of our democracy. Government was very powerful, but very far away and not trusted to be ethical. The United States of America offers a sincere apology to those of our citizens who were subjected to these experiments, to their families, and to their communities.
United States of America.
Yes.
We just.
Yeah. I don't know exactly what year this was from, but that's Clinton. So maybe he was the sitting president at the time, and that's why he's talking about this. Maybe he was running. I don't know. But that is crazy. I got to be careful. Let's keep going.
Can anybody tell me why there's declassified documents from the CIA showing that our human bodies have liquid crystals in them? The same crystals just like radios use to pick up frequencies. It isn't a coincidence that neuroscientists have just launched a whole study showing that our consciousness, gut feelings, actually can time travel. So does that mean that our consciousness is picking up radio signals or messages from the future? Interesting. There's a fire.
Question everything. Man, I'm trying.
Can anybody tell me
I'm
why
trying.
there's
Look at
declassified
this.
documents
Right, I'm
from
gonna
the
pause it
CIA
on this.
showing that our human bodies have
Let me see if I can find it.
feelings?
Your consciousness can jump through time, meaning gut feelings are memories from the future, scientists say. Hey, man, always trust your gut. That's it. There's a reason. You feel off. There's something going on. Man. There's been several times in my life where I was like, man, I should have listened to how I felt because I knew something was, some fuckery was afoot, if you will. Yeah, okay, that's the last one, y'all. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Seriously, I appreciate it. I've been going through some things, man. I have been going through some things, and I know we all have, and it could be way worse for sure. And I hold myself thankful because it could be, but I'm still dealing. I'm dealing, and I'm trying to keep it positive, y'all. You know what I mean? Rolling with the punches, because that's all you can really do. And I have been doing a little self-work, and trying to remember. And this is cliche and sounds cheesy, but it's not about the destination. It's the journey. And it's who you become on the journey and all that stuff. So anytime I'm experiencing loss, I try to reprogram my brain as it's a learning. It's something that, the higher power, the universe, the source, whatever you believe, there's a message in it. And there's something you need to receive there. Although it may feel horrible to do so, there's something in that. That's all. I'm not going to get all woo up on you, but you know what I mean. It's about that time. We've been talking now for about 38 minutes. I got a dip. Dick gonna dip. I'll see y'all on the flip. Probably on Wednesday. Definitely on Wednesday. I want to do a 3-eye atlas breakdown, because is that thing a distraction? Is that thing for real? Isn't it strange the government shut down when it got real close to us, and NASA's a part of that, so they cut the feed? I'm going to talk about all that. Prepare yourself. That is coming in my repertoire. I'm going to play little music, get us out of here. You know how I like to do it. Man, thank you so much for the ones that are sticking around. I'm finding my tribe. I really appreciate it. One of my regular viewers, I don't know if people want me to put them on blast, but, words of encouragement are great. I love it. Thank you so much. Cheers, mate. You know who you are. It means a lot. Thank you. But remember, and I'll share this every time, because some days are heavier than the others. And when you're feeling that, remember to spread your love, share your knowledge. And just those little micro movements of that energy of love shared and knowledge given, it'll help. It'll help. It's one of the things that I've found that helps, so I'm going to say it every time because I know someone needs to hear it. And they may not hear it right away. They may stumble on this video in some strange way and fast forward through all my whatever and hear that one part. And that's all I need. That's all. Hopefully that's all they need. I know I'm rambling. I missed y'all. So it feels good. It feels good to be connecting with my people, my tribe. All right, y'all. Stop playing. I love you guys. I'm going to play a little music, like I said. Hold up. This is Straight Fuse by French Fuse. YouTube free music. Thank you, YouTube. Thank you to everyone. Take your day. Let's go. Oh, yeah. Next time, everybody.